I stopped drinking in 2023, I believe it was, the end of the year, December 31st. I remember because I had two Surge, White Claws. I was like, what are they called? Those were the last two drinks I had, and I remember not even wanting to drink them, but they were in the fridge, and I didn't want to waste them because I also had issues with wasting food. Although that, in hindsight, I'm like, that is not food. That never would have been waste. I just was throwing away poison. But, whatever. That's where my state of mind was at the time. And, I'm getting close to the end of this year. So just wrapping up another year of being alcohol free. And I remember when I wanted to stop drinking and being like, oh shit, why can't I stop drinking? Versus now, 2-3 years out after, whatever that math is, I'm just like, whoa, I'm here. This is amazing. I feel so good. I can't even believe there was a time I was struggling like that. So what sparked me wanting to quit was, I didn't like how I felt like it was controlling me. Like, I was planning my day around drinking. I wanted to get everything done by 5 or 6, be at the house, not have to go back out or anything because I wanted to start drinking. And I preferred not to drink and drive, So it's just like, let me be done and get my drinking on. And then I was like, I started to get anxiety around it. Like, if somebody was like, let's do something after, the time that I would typically start drinking. And I was like, looking at my watch and then like, is that going to work? Okay, like, let me move some things around. And I was like, this is getting crazy. All right, I need to cut this shit out before I become an alcoholic, is what I was thinking. And then when I tried to cut it out, I was like, oh shit. Like, I'm already one. In my head, you were only an alcoholic if you like woke up and started your day with, a shot of Jaeger. I don't even know what that is, but that's what I thought alcoholics were. And that's what I was told. And I remember being at the doctor being like, I was a little concerned about my drinking. And she was like, are you waking up drinking? Are you shaking? Then you're not an alcoholic. She was like, she just brushed off my concerns. And I was like, okay. And this was like maybe 3 years before this point. So clearly her idea of what an alcoholic is not what mine is today, because I now know, for me, my belief system is anyone who drinks is an alcoholic. Because like I said before, alcohol holds no nutritional value. So what is your purpose for drinking if you are not addicted to it? And it's like, some people may be like, it's to relax, it's to have fun. You can relax in many different other ways. You can go get a massage. You can meditate. You can go for a quiet, peaceful walk. You can go bird watching. Like, you can do so many things to relax rather than destroy your body. So to me, that's bullshit. And like, to have fun, same deal. You can do many other things than drink. So you get my point. If you drink it all in any quantity and any consistency, you are addicted to alcohol. Because why are you doing it? And that wasn't my belief system at first. And that's how I got to where I was. Because I was like, oh yeah, it's just on the weekends. Then it became every day. So don't be me. But yeah, I thought it was only if you drink early in the morning because that's what media portrayed it to be. Like you lose your house, you lose your job, nothing's going right, like life sucks. Like that's the only way you could be an alcoholic. And I mean, I see why they push that narrative, because it keeps you a consumer. It has you thinking that there's no issue with what you're doing. And like, I feel like deep down, most of us know there's an issue, because I never really felt right about it, but it was everywhere, and it was in media, and it was in the colleges. Like I never even drank until I got to college. So, and then I was peer pressured like a motherfucker to drink. And I was doing to other people what was done to me, because I was like, this is normal. This is, drink, take a shot, come on. And all of this stuff, just like, and then there's like liquor stores on every corner. I remember living in DC, there was like 3 I could choose from within walking distance. And it's just insane. It's like the drug is literally right there. And in North Carolina, they weren't even open on Sundays. They would close them bitches early. It's like, y'all, I don't know. My eyes started really opening. I started seeing like the bottle of poison for what it was, which was a bottle of poison. Man, I remember thinking like, if I let this go, like, what am I going to do on the weekends? Like, how am I going to have fun? Like, how am I going to relax and be myself? And I don't, honestly, it's been so long now. I don't even know why I thought alcohol was like helping me in any sort of way. And for me, my addiction to it like really took off when my grandmother died. I just didn't want to feel nothing. So I was like, I'm getting fucked up. And I, unfortunately, in that moment, started to make a habit that I was unaware of my body being reliant on it. So just an unfortunate sequence of events, but I worked on a lot of that trauma and was able to resolve, that reason for drinking. Not until much later, though. It wasn't until I actually like let go of alcohol that I was able to clearly look at the root cause of why I was drinking in the first place. And I was looking for a way to cover up my grief. And I was doing it by finding substances outside of me, because that wasn't the only one, right? That was just the one that I was like, whoa, hold on. This is taking too much of a hold of my life. But it was honestly by letting go of all those external drugs and sitting with those feelings, going within, that allowed me to feel like myself again and not need alcohol in order to, feel comfortable talking to someone or relaxing, and also too, like the places that I was just going to, like I never liked clubs. And that's where mostly a lot of the drinking occurred, like bars and clubs. And it's like, I didn't even want to be there because I didn't like it. But, I was like, oh, I'm in my 20s. This is what we're supposed to do. Let me get out there. Like, I don't want to look back and be like, I missed out. So I would just like get fucked up, because that was the only way I was like, that I felt that I was going to be okay with being out there, because there's so many people, like, and they're all drunk too. They're stepping on my feet, my shoes. I really was a shoe girly back then. So I was like, damn, they're destroying my shoes. So I got shoes just for the club. I was like, y'all can destroy these white bands. I don't know why I got white, but I was like, y'all can destroy these white bands all you want. Stomp away. So I was like, okay, that's good. But then I was like, I can't stand the loud noise. Like, see, it was so clear that I didn't even want to be there, that I didn't even want to do that. But there I was doing what I thought everyone wanted me to do. And, I started bringing, like, I had these Beats headphones, like, that you could just put in your ear. And they wrapped around your neck. I started bringing those every time with me. I was like, I don't even like this music. I don't want to hear all these people. So then I would, get trash, bring my own music, and just like dance on the dance floor by myself to my own music. And I usually would leave early. Like I would just dip out, be like, I'm going home. Like I'm done with this. I can't like do it anymore, even with all that. And so it was like, why did I think I was missing anything? Really, what I was afraid of was leaving the societal standard and like being alone on on a new island of Tenzin. I had never really gone against the grain before, so at least not in this way. So it felt like a little lonely, and I wasn't prepared to just be all by myself. So I held on to that life until it just wasn't serving me whatsoever. I didn't quit alcohol because it was bad. I quit because I felt better without it. It wasn't until much later that my perspective on alcohol shifted to the one that I had today. The longer I was sober, the more clear reality started to appear for me. I was captivated by the illusions that society puts on about drinking. And as I started to separate myself and lose that identity that I had with alcohol, I started to see the reality of how it was destroying the vehicle that I'm in, the body, and how it was limiting the growth of my mind, or consciousness, you could put it. If you are struggling with alcohol consumption, my suggestion would be to, and these are crazy, right? Like, these might sound crazy, but this is what helped me. My suggestion would be to add a smoothie, just fruit and water, or fruit and coconut water, like nothing else. Add a big ass smoothie. Like if you can drink 32 ounces, great. Like if not, start smaller. Add a big smoothie to your morning routine every day. Because part of the physical reason why one would get addicted to alcohol is because of the sugars in alcohol. It tricks your brain into believing that it is a viable source of sugar, and the brain runs off of sugar, glucose. And so, it'll choose alcohol over the other sugars in your body because it thinks it's like one of the best sources, but it's not. And honestly, that's that when you start to feel a little tipsy, yeah, that's your brain getting a hold of those alcohol sugars. And that's a sign that your brain is starting to die. It's starting to die because it's not getting the food it needs in order, or really, if you want to think about it in terms of energy, it's not getting the energy it needs to sustain itself. And so by switching to a smoothie, you're getting the glucose that your brain desires. So for one, giving your brain what it needs on a physical standpoint. The next thing that I would suggest would be to obviously work on the root causes of why you're drinking in the first place. Drinking is a way to, and this is in my own words, drinking is a way to run away from yourself. Why are you running from yourself? What's going on? Like, really observe your thoughts and your emotions and how you're feeling right before you decide to drink. Like, is that something you really want to do? Or you just don't like how you're feeling, currently, and so you're running away from it. Really diving into those issues. It can be difficult, and it can pull up a lot of things that, people don't want to pull out the closet, right? They're not ready to handle it. But if you want to stop drinking, then those things need to be addressed. I would say the last step would be to Educate yourself on what alcohol does to the physical body. Understanding what every sip does to your immune system really gives you an informed, decision every time you decide to pick up a drink. It's not just like, oh, when I pick this up, I feel a little dizzy. I don't understand. Like, I just feel a little hungover and I have a headache. I'll just take some ibuprofen. But when you really understand that, like, your liver is struggling to sop up all that alcohol and make sure you don't get alcohol poisoning, and that your brain is dying, which is why, like, some people black out. They can't make memories. They don't remember anything. They have a headache the next day. Like, when you understand those things, you're less likely to eat them. Like, nobody's out here eating mothballs or like rat poison. Everybody knows it's poison. There's like a little sign on it, crossbones and skull, and you're just like, oh no, I don't want to eat that because that's poison. So when you start shifting your perspective on what alcohol is, and you wipe that illusion that society has pushed, since, I don't even know how long it's been pushed, because it's been here since I've been alive, right? So it helps remove that illusion, and then you start to see the reality, like, of all these little bottles of poison everywhere. If you're interested in a more in-depth playbook, I'll call it, on ways to stop drinking, let me know. I'm more than happy to elaborate on another video. Much love and happy healing.